we'll be starting here momentarily. For those of you on YouTube, any moment the live will kick in, and I'm going to be sharing with you a very exciting show, Good Life GPS, and that is bringing to you the best people I can, top coaches, authors, speakers, professionals, experts, and today is one of those days. So you're about to meet Tom LeNoble. You can give him a wave if you're looking at your camera now. And Tom has an incredible background story. So I hope we get to talk about that. I don't want to miss anything. But for those of you who want to know who this is, Tom LeNoble is a coach, speaker, author. He is the host of Opening Pathways podcast. So you're going to want to check that out. Opening Pathways podcast does incredible interviews and is a truly good and kind soul. So you'll definitely want to get as much out of this interview and look into Tom's work. He is the CEO of the Academy for Coaching Excellence, and he is the author, and this I really want to talk about. Tom's fresh new book won 4 awards right out of the gate on Amazon and is exploding, and it's fresh, it's just new, it's out, and that's what I want to talk to Tom about. The book is entitled My Life in Business Suits, Hospital Gowns, and High Heels. Welcome, Tom. I'm so happy that you're willing to meet with me.
So great to be with you today. I've been looking forward to this.
Well, yeah, not more than me. I'm very excited, and I'm grateful to our friend Anshu with the Global Speakers. We've met because we're both speaking at an upcoming event called the 3rd Annual Global Speakers event, and it starts, I think it's December 2nd, and it goes for like 2 weeks, 3.
I'm on the
big.
18th, so it's a while. Yeah.
I think it might be goes to the 19th. So for those of you who are watching this, I just promise you, I'm going to put a link to the 3rd Annual Global Speakers event, where you're going to get to hear a lot more from Tom, and you'll get to hear from me and an ocean of really good souls with great minds and incredible insights. And it's because of Anshu, because of that event, that I had the pleasure to meet Tom. So Tom, would you be willing just to give us a bit of background? Because I know you've got, when we spoke briefly before, your background is very impressive, and I would love to just pick your brain and say, tell me stories. So if you wouldn't mind giving people a bit of a background of your career and your journey, and then we're going to pounce on the book.
Yeah, I'd be delighted. I like to say I retired being retired to be inspired. I
Ooh.
had a great corporate career. I led service for MCI, a company some of you may remember, in long distance that broke up all the Bell
Hmm.
operating companies and allowed us to dial one. And then I was the head of customer service at Walmart.com in their early days. I ran global service operations for Palm, the Palm Pilot
Wow.
Trio people that are now part of HP. And I got a call at my desk one day from a recruiter from a little company called Facebook. It was still in colleges. I had no idea what it was. I thanked them, told them I had my dream job, and hung up. A buddy called me and said, I referred you to Facebook. You didn't even talk to them. And I said, what's Facebook? Long
Wow.
story short, and it's a great story that you can read in my book. I interviewed with Mark Zuckerberg when he was 19
Wow.
and ended up going to Facebook and setting up all their first customer operations, user operations, a bunch of other things there. And what an experience that was. And then I was the chief support officer of a company that is now the backbone of the Geek Squad remote support. Worked at a dating site that bought purchased by Match.com, and I managed the merger. I had boards sending me to companies as the COO or the VP of HR with their perceived problems about their startup, which was never the problem. And then I fell in love, got married, and traveled the world. And while I still dabbled in work, I had stepped back a little bit, but I had this yearning because I knew I still had something to share and some wisdom to bring forward. So today I'm a coach, I'm an author. We're going to talk about
Mhm.
that. I'm a speaker. I have the podcast Opening Pathways, the CEO of the Academy for Coaching Excellence. We certify coaches around the world in coaching. It's 22 years old. It's a wonderful organization that I love so much. And here I am with you today, and I'm so excited to share that with your viewers.
Well, I'm excited too, and I bet you. I bet you if I was to be able to climb through everyone's phone or everyone's laptop and say, "What do you want to ask them?" There'd be no shortage of questions. We'd all want some unofficial insider stories. The Facebook one really jumps out at me. It's like, okay, what was it really like, and what was that guy like, and what was that? Oh, I'll ask you a question about that for fun, and then I want to talk about the book. I really want to get your what do you want to talk about from the book, and possibly what you'll be sharing at the upcoming event. But the question is, the Social Network movie, completely inaccurate, completely accurate. What's your quick take on that movie
So,
in your experience?
here is the thing. Most movies we see, no matter what they're done, are Hollywoodized,
Yeah,
and that
yeah,
one was too. And so while there were some true events, I was in the house where the famous scenes were done where the chimney fell off the roof. Well, the chimney never came off the roof. I never saw any drugs there. Saw a few beers, but I never saw any drugs there. And so I think it's a Hollywoodized movie of
yeah.
something. It was pretty well done. We actually all watched it. Mark took us as a company to a local theater the whole company went to watch it
Wow.
together, which was an interesting
So you were
experience.
still there when it came out?
Yes, yes, I was.
Oh,
I was.
cool.
And so it was um, I think a good movie, a good recap, but like anything in Hollywood,
Yeah.
it's bent a little bit here and there and a little bit, it is. But it was a fabulous time to be there. As you can imagine, everything was really, really quickly and fast things going on and moving at light speed. I
Yeah.
used to say that whatever your to-do list was today, if you didn't get it done, forget about it because you got a whole new to-do list tomorrow, like
Wow.
any startup. But that was so incredible. And I had the good fortune. I was the oldest person there. I went there and everybody was deferring law school, business school, medical school.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the people working there were 20 or 21, fresh
Yeah.
out of Harvard, Stanford, Yale, Brown, Oberlin, all of these great schools, brilliant, brilliant kids at the time. And I was old enough to be every one of them's father. And
Wow.
boy, was that an experience. But I cherish it. I learned so much from them, and I hope they learned something from me.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is gold. So let me ask you, takeaways from your journey. I want to start digging into the book. Where would you like to begin? Because I want to know everything.
Well, I'll jump right in. The book is My Life in Business Suits, Hospital Gowns, and High Heels. And what I didn't share with you about my journey is through everything I just told you, I had two life-threatening illnesses. The
Mhm.
first one I was told was terminal, and I've had metastatic cancer for the last 13 years, and I fondly say I'm still here. And so this book really is a memoir that crosses over into self-help, and its
Nice.
purpose for the reader is to help us understand that who we are today is the sum of all parts of who we've been. And some of those parts we may feel shame for, that we want to keep
Hmm.
private, they're outrageous, or we just think somebody wouldn't understand. But to remember that all those parts, without any one of them, you wouldn't be who you are today, because that's how it
That's right.
happens in life. And so that's the main mission behind the book, along with sharing some interesting stories about my corporate career,
Yeah.
certainly hospital gowns, that flimsy piece of fabric that never ties in the back. And if you want to know about the high heels, you're going to have to get the book.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I didn't know about the health, and so thank you for letting me know. And I hope it's not offensive to say I will be praying for your wellness.
It is not offensive at all. I appreciate that more than I can tell you. I believe in the
Mm,
power of prayer. I'm a big believer in gratitude, and I have a great gratitude practice. And in fact, my work today is about risk resilience and reinvention. It's what
mm,
I do in coaching, it's what I do in speaking, it's what I do in so much of what I do in life. And I'm really fortunate because I am actually a philanthropist, and
mhm,
I do all that I do to feed my philanthropy, which is directed towards underserved communities, youth in the arts, first generation students, some relevant women's issues today, a host of other things that I'm
mhm.
very passionate about. And, when you've been through the experiences I have, I've been given 6 months to live three times. And
Wow.
there's some lessons from that and some wisdom you gain that I feel I am responsible to share it with others.
Well, the people watching would love to pick your brain and ask if we had, another 10, 15 minutes, what are some insights, some encouragements, some directions from your incredible journey in across the board? I mean, it's yes, I want to know about what you've learned in business. I would love to know your insights to coaching, as I've worked with so many coaches.
Yes.
And 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 so what is some gold I can glean from you, drag out of you in
I
this
will
time
be
together?
happy to share them. And you and I just may have to do another one of these someday.
Amen. My answer is
Um,
yes.
you know what I find from working with so many people is we often have one foot in the past and one foot in the future.
Yes.
And where the magic happens is in the present.
Amen.
And we often get hung up in what happened or what the story's about, and we don't take the moment to realize there are no do-overs.
Mm.
Now, the past offers us some lessons. There's things we can certainly learn from it, but when we hang out there, we don't realize our goals and dreams. We don't take
Mm.
actions that move us forward. I find this very frequently with people who've either lost their job or changing where they're have one foot back in what
Yes.
happened while they've got one foot looking forward. And first of all, any good recruiter is going to figure that out and see that
Yeah.
you're not hung up. But most importantly, step outside and see how very far you get trying to walk while one foot's not
Yeah.
moving from behind as the other one's trying to go forward. Unless you're good at splits, you're not going to get very far. And so I think that's one of the key things that I see is people that are doing that. The other thing that I do in my work and what we do at the Coaching Academy is we work with something called an ontological model. I know that sounds woo-woo, but we have psychology, the
Hmm.
study of your thoughts, dreams, and your mind. We have cosmology.
Yeah.
Well, ontology and the study of it is been around forever. I encourage you to look it up, but it is the study of being. So in my work, what I'm interested in how your being that keeps you from reaching your goals and dreams and maybe just finding out what you came here to do in the first place.
Oh, amen. To live on purpose is to truly live. To believe that my existence is not accidental, unfortunate, and I'm not here just to make it. I'm here to make it better. There's a reason for this experience, and to be able to have peace with past, to take the wisdom. Are you familiar with Dr. Henry Cloud? Dr.
I'm
Henry
not, but I will
Cloud.
look it up as soon as we get off this
He
phone.
is precious. I've got stories, but let me just say that he taught something. He's a psychologist, and yeah, you know what? I always mess up psychologists, psychiatrists, but he's a good guy. He'll forgive me. And he taught me something that when we eat food, we go through the digestives, da 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 da. Right? We have that, and what is that called? Ah, I just drew a blank at the wrong time. Um, Metabolization. Forgive me.
Yes, there you
So,
go.
so to be able to metabolize the past, because you talked about the past, and you want to take the like when I eat food, my body says, okay, you shouldn't have eaten that, but I'll deal with it, right? Or I need some of this. But the body just simply says, what can I take from it? And that's the way to look at the past. What can I take from it? What can I use now? What can I store? And then to flush everything else. There's to be attached to the past is really to be chained from moving forward, as you're saying. And I like the way for me, just remove all toxicity, be grateful, be wiser, and get excited about what you can do with that new insight.
Well, and maybe use it. I find so many people who
Yes.
forgot about their accomplishments, and so they're
Yes.
facing something big in their life,
Yep.
and they forget the evidence that they have of what they've accomplished before. And
Yes.
through our coaching, we often find some of those things that help bolster them and some of the challenges they're expecting
Yes.
and facing today because they've done it before. It may be
Yep.
new, it may have a new skin on it, but it's still, you've been able to do it before and you will again. But absolutely, when we carry around things, and yes, there's something to learn from it, but carrying them around is like, carrying around extra weight we don't need.
Yes.
Ball and chain of the kind of thing, symbol of that's unnecessary to be carrying around that we don't need. So yeah.
Amen. So I love the wisdom of the past to take the gold, and also to take the credit. It's not just where I want to go, but where I've come from. Right? I may not be where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be, and for that, I'm grateful, proud, and can be
Yes.
encouraged for today. Beautiful. I know you got gold more. So what else you got for me? Because I love that.
Well, I love sharing it too. I'm at this conference coming up that I hope people will attend. It's really packed full. Each day has a different theme,
Mm,
and Anshu does such a good job with these. I just enjoy working with her so much, and she really takes on a load to make this happen.
yes.
And here we're right on the verge of it. But my part is during the leadership day, where we're on each day has sort of a different
Yes.
theme, and I'm in the leadership, and I'm talking about thriving under pressure.
Yes.
And the things I'm going to share, some of the takeaways with, if you join us, which I hope you will, it's you
Yep.
just sign up and you get to attend the whole thing. I mean,
Yep.
pick a day, pick a theme, or do them all, right? But for me, for this thriving under pressure with leadership, I'm going to talk about things like what happens when things go wrong.
Hmm.
That that leadership isn't always about when things go right, and about
Yeah.
resilience. To me, resilience isn't just about getting back up. Resilience is about how you grew from it. I have
Yes.
people talk to me and tell me that their life is going just perfectly. Well, that looks like a flat line to me. I think life is a series of ups and downs, we'll call them.
Yes.
To me, the downs, if you want to call it a down, is where you have the opportunity to learn and grow,
Yes.
to express what you learn, because the reality of life is perhaps there's another low point coming that you get to learn more.
Hmm.
And the new currency of leadership, which is resilience. I think resilience is your greatest currency. Stock markets go up, money
Yep.
runs out, titles get stripped, jobs get lost, but your resilience you build on just like a muscle, your bicep
Yep.
or
Yep.
tricep, and no one can take it away from you. The five gifts of resilient leadership, which are presence, curiosity, courage, resilience, and renewal, and how we empower people by leading from the heart and not hierarchy while we're leading other people. So that's what my talk is going to be about, what I'm really excited about doing. I get to talk a lot of my businesses with CEOs, founders, executive
Hmm.
directors, nonprofits. And I'm so fortunate to do that because we get to shake up some of the things that are going on where, I had this CEO one time that came to me. It was just great. And he had heard about me, but I just need to talk to you. I just need to talk to you right away. And I goes, I feel like I'm just going down the tubes with what I've tried at this
Mm.
company. And I said, well, what is it? He said, well, I've created this whole thing where my office is open. I literally almost have a red carpet for someone to come in. I talk about my open door policy, which I thought that's a little dated, but okay. He went on and on about this thing, and I finally said to him, John, this is all very, very simple. And he goes, what? I said, have you ever thought about getting up and getting out of your chair and going outside of your office with everyone instead of waiting for them to come see you? And
Hmm.
it gave us a great talk about leadership and what it means to think and remember that our titles sometime, no matter who we are as a person, people have a perception about them. And when you
Yes.
come out into people's environment, something as simple as this, and remind people that you're just as human as they are and approachable,
Hmm.
and that you can be approached and touched just like other people in your speech and how you interact, what magic can happen from that. So that's just one example for
I
you.
love that. I love that. One of the things that I've been mindful of and wanting to really gain wisdom around is how to have a position that could be threatening and not being a threatening person, right? So if two people are working and they're coworkers and one shows up late, the person who was there on time could say, "You're a jerk," But if the manager says you're a jerk, the person could have a heart attack. Or if so it's the who you are brings power, and you may not be intending to, but going the extra mile to create a safe environment for openness and to say, I care and I'm interested and it's safe. Have you found that? Because just as you were talking about
Sure.
that, that hit that button for me.
Sure. I think that if we think about, it's back to what is it, the golden rule of how we want to be treated.
Yes.
Empathy gets a real interesting kind of discussion these days. But when we look at empathy, at what it truly is, I just wrote an article about it. It's on LinkedIn if anyone's interested in seeing it. But it really, to me, is when something happens to that, let's not lead with anything that even feels like you're a jerk. What if we
Yes.
lead with, is everything okay?
Yes.
What if we just lead with, can I get you anything so we can get started? Because
Hmm.
most of us are going to share with you immediately what happened if we don't come from
Yeah.
confrontation.
Yes.
So come from a place of, again, curiosity and presence, and
Yes.
be where you can ask someone a question that is inviting, that you're going to get to work much faster that way than putting someone on edge. Whoever that first
Yes.
customer they talk with or that first meeting, it's going to go much better from the fact is everything okay? Let's get to work and let's find out what it meant later than a confrontation when somebody's
Yes.
already feeling it. They know they're,
Yes.
I see this with one other thing too, that is, I call it the art of listening. We listen to people, and I find so many people that listen while in their head they're thinking about how they're going to respond. And
Right.
we don't trust ourselves to respond. We think we have to rehearse it before we respond. Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing: the person you're not listening to knows you're not listening. And most importantly, you're going to miss something really important in the conversation because you're not listening to what's being said. And I love to teach people and help people see that you can trust yourself to respond. So, this listening thing I'm talking about mirrors back to just what we were talking about.
Yeah.
When one of these things goes wrong, let's use the art of listening, ask questions that inspire people to give us a response and get us moving forward, and address later any patterns or anything that was wrong when the appropriate time,
Yeah.
not when it's in the heat of the moment. These
Yeah.
things translate, by the way, into your personal life,
Yep.
your business life, and actually, I want to share with you how we talk to ourselves.
Well, yeah, and one of the things I was so scared of is when I was told you likely talk to people the way you talk to yourself, because I'm not historically gentle with myself, and I would hate to think that I talk to others like that.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
like to think I I'm more appropriate with others. And then the wisdom is, how about I be more appropriate with me first so I don't have to switch the language and I just continue to be respectful and kind. I'm tell you what, Tom, this is gold for me. And I hope you'll be willing to come back on Good Life GPS and others, because I just feel like I've barely scratched the surface, and I would love to glean wisdom from you. I will be getting a copy of your book, and I'm going to be putting a link in the description
Thank
so that
you.
everyone can get it. And let me give a tip to everyone here. If you go between ebooks and audiobooks and paper books, I'm going to encourage you, if you're into the ebook, great. If you're into the audiobook, great. Is it out on audio yet, Tom?
It is in my own
Okay.
voice.
Oh, okay. So if you're into audiobooks, great. That's what I do. I just drove to Florida and I listen. So audiobook, great. Ebook, great. But everyone, I'm asking you to grab the paper copy. And you want to know why? You're going to want to have highlighters. You're going to want to go through this book and allow it. Oh, that's beautiful. My life in business suits, hospital gowns, and high heels. I expect to be encouraged, inspired, informed, and entertained. And I encourage one and all, get the paper book so that you can get physically involved, because Tom has experience that you normally would have to talk to 10 people to have this kind of experience. And he's a kind, wise gentleman who has packaged it for us. That's why this book has already immediately got 4 awards, and I know millions are coming. To one and all, get a copy of Tom's book. And Tom, I certainly hope you'll be kind enough to come back, and I hope I get to talk to you a ton more. And who knows, maybe in person someday I'll get to meet you.
Yes, James, thank you so much, and thanks to your viewers. And I would love to come back and spend some time with you. I think we think alike on many things, and I know I've got some stuff I'd love to share. And thank you so much. And don't forget the conference. It's
Yes.
December 2nd through 19th. There's going to be a link, I'm sure, that James will
Yep.
put for you to get to it. It's going to be really great. There's some really gifted people there, including us.
Yeah. And so yeah, definitely one and all, get Tom's book, join the 3rd annual Global Speakers Conference. That's where Tom and I will be sharing, and many others. There's incredibly brilliant, kind people. You know, I've been speaking for over 30 years, Tom. That's my career, and I've shared the biggest stages with the biggest names and all that kind of stuff. When I was asked to do this, I didn't know who Anju was. This is my first rodeo with her. She is golden, and I had no
It
idea the
is
caliber of speakers.
amazing.
No, this is off the charts, and you're going to get a link in the description, one and all. Click on it, get yourself registered, look at the absolute ocean of gold that's going to be there, and join us. Tom, again, God bless you. Thank you so much, sir, and I look forward to our next dialogue.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy this day.
Amen. Bye for now. Thanks.